Our planet is home to over 10 quintillion insects. That's a 1 followed by 19 zeros. They crawl, buzz, leap, and fly across nearly every corner of the Earth, from the deepest caves to the highest mountaintops. But among this endless swarm of life, there exist some truly bizarre creatures. Insects so strange, so alien-looking, that you might think they crawled straight out of a sci-fi movie. Today, we're diving into the most bizarre insects you've never heard of. So buckle up, because this journey through the miniature monsters of nature is going to blow your mind. Let's start with one of the most terrifying predators in the insect kingdom, the assassin bug, scientifically known as Reduviidae. This insect isn't just creepy, it's a cold-blooded hunter armed with one of the most brutal feeding techniques in nature. It stabs its prey with a needle-like mouthpart, injects a lethal saliva that liquefies the victim's insides, and then drinks it like a smoothie. Some species, like the kissing bug, are even more disturbing. They feed on the blood of mammals, including humans, often biting near the lips while you sleep. Worse, they can transmit Chagas disease, a potentially deadly infection that affects millions across Latin America. But not all assassin bugs are villains. Some help control pest populations, making them both killers and heroes in the insect world. If there was ever an insect that looked designed by aliens, it's the Brazilian treehopper, Bosidium globulare. This tiny insect sports a crown of bizarre bulbous spines on its head, strange antenna-like extensions that look more like a satellite array than anything found in nature. Scientists still don't fully understand why it evolved this way. Some think it's a defense mechanism, confusing predators or making the insect look larger and more threatening. Others suggest these structures could help regulate temperature or even play a role in communication. Whatever the reason, one thing's certain: the Brazilian treehopper wins the award for most likely to be mistaken for an alien life form. Now let's meet an insect that lives up to its chilling name, the Dracula ant, Aditomyrma venatrix, found in Madagascar. These ants have a dark secret. They feed on the blood of their own young. Yes, you heard that right. The adults cut open the skin of their larvae to drink the hemolymph, insect blood, without killing them. This gruesome ritual gives the colony its nutrients while keeping the larvae alive. Even stranger, the Dracula ant holds the record for the fastest animal movement ever recorded. Its jaw snaps shut at a speed of 320 kilometers per hour. That's faster than the blink of an eye, literally. This vampiric speed demon shows that in the insect world, survival often comes down to evolution's weirdest ideas. Next up, an insect that could easily be part of the Avengers, the Bombardier Beetle. When threatened, this small beetle unleashes a chemical explosion from its abdomen, firing boiling hot liquid at its enemies. Inside its body, two separate chemical chambers, hydroquinones and hydrogen peroxide, mix in a rapid reaction that reaches 100 degrees to 212 degrees Fahrenheit. The explosion creates a popping sound and a puff of steam as it blasts the attacker. This built-in flamethrower is so sophisticated that scientists have studied it to inspire military-grade microreactors and spray technologies. Nature was the first chemist. Now for something more delicate yet equally astonishing: the Glasswing Butterfly, Greta Oto. Unlike most butterflies with vibrant patterns, the glasswing's wings are completely transparent, like panes of glass. This natural invisibility cloak helps it evade predators by blending perfectly into its surroundings. The wings are covered in microscopic nanostructures that prevent light from scattering, the same principle that inspired scientists working on anti-reflective screens and stealth materials. It's proof that sometimes beauty hides in transparency. If you thought parasites couldn't get any creepier, meet the twisted wing parasite, Strepsiptera. This insect lives its life inside other insects, like bees, wasps, and cockroaches. Females spend their entire lives embedded in their host's body, while males develop wings to fly out and mate before dying a few hours later. The females never leave the host. Their bodies merge into the host's tissues, turning them into living incubators. It's the insect equivalent of the Matrix. Scientists call them hyperparasites, parasites of parasites, proving that in nature, even the smallest world can be horrifyingly complex. Imagine a bee the size of your thumb. Sounds like a horror movie, right? Meet Wallace's giant bee, Megachild Pluto, the largest bee in the world. With a wingspan of up to 6.3 centimeters, 2.5 inches, this Indonesian giant was once thought to be extinct until rediscovered in 2019 by scientists on a remote Indonesian island. It builds its nest inside active termite mounds, coating the entrance with sticky tree resin to keep the termites away. Despite its intimidating size, it's surprisingly gentle, proving that even giants can be peaceful. A living relic of evolution, Wallace's giant bee reminds us how much of nature still hides unseen. From New Zealand comes an insect so large it can outweigh a sparrow, the giant Weta, Dionacrita heteracantha. Weighing up to 71 grams, 2.5 ounces, it's one of the heaviest insects ever recorded. With long, spiny legs and enormous mandibles, it looks terrifying, but it's completely harmless. These ancient insects date back to the time of the dinosaurs and are mostly herbivores. Their huge size is a result of island gigantism, when species evolve larger bodies due to the absence of predators. Sadly, habitat loss and introduced species like rats have pushed them close to extinction, making every surviving Weta a living fossil. At first glance, you might think this is the cutest ant you've ever seen. Fuzzy, black and white, just like a tiny panda. But don't be fooled, the panda ant, Euspinolia militaris, isn't an ant at all. It's actually a wingless wasp, and it packs one of the most painful stings in the insect world. Found in Chile, its striking coloration serves as a warning, a phenomenon called aposematism, telling predators, "Stay away, I'm dangerous." It's a deadly beauty, adorable to the eye, but disastrous to touch. If you thought mosquitoes were bad, wait until you meet the vampire moth, Calyptra thalictri. Native to Southeast Asia, this moth has evolved sharp, barbed proboscises that can pierce human skin and drink blood. Originally, it likely fed on fruit juice, but evolution gave it a taste for blood, possibly as a source of minerals. Unlike mosquitoes, both males and females can drink blood, though they rarely do. It's more of a survival curiosity than a regular habit, but still, knowing that a moth might feed on you in the night? That's enough to give anyone chills. If you found this insect in the jungle, you might think you've discovered a new dinosaur species. The Malaysian Trilobite Beetle, Platyrodrylus, looks like a creature straight from the Paleozoic era. The females, which remain larva-like their entire lives, have armored plates resembling ancient trilobites. They can grow up to 8 centimeters long and live in humid rainforests across Southeast Asia. The males, in contrast, are tiny and look like ordinary beetles, an extreme example of sexual dimorphism. This insect is a living link to prehistoric Earth, proof that ancient designs sometimes never go out of style. From one of the largest to one of the smallest, meet the Featherwing Beetle, Cytocella musawacensis. It's barely 0.3 millimeters long, small enough to fit inside the period at the end of this sentence. Its wings look like delicate feathers, allowing it to float through the air like dust motes. Despite its size, it's a fully functional insect, with eyes, legs, and even flight muscles. It lives in fungal spores and leaf litter, a reminder that nature doesn't need size to be spectacular. Meet the Malaysian jungle nymph, Heteropteryx dilatata, a walking tank disguised as a leaf. At up to 17 centimeters long, it's one of the heaviest and largest insects on Earth. Covered in sharp spines, it uses its body as both armor and camouflage. When threatened, it raises its back legs and snaps them together like a trap, producing a loud click to scare predators. Despite its intimidating appearance, this gentle herbivore feeds mostly on leaves. It's a masterpiece of natural design, both terrifying and beautiful. This one's strange not for how it looks, but for what it loves. The Rafflesia fly spends its life inside one of the world's largest and smelliest flowers, the Rafflesia arnoldii, also known as the corpse flower. The flower emits the stench of rotting flesh to attract these flies, which help pollinate it. It's a morbid partnership, a love story between decay and reproduction. Without these flies, the corpse flower couldn't reproduce, showing just how bizarre and interconnected nature's relationships can be. Finally, meet one of the tiniest creatures with a brain, the Fairyfly, Mammaridae. Despite its name, it's not a fly, but a wasp. At only 0.2 millimeters long, it's smaller than many single-celled organisms. It parasitizes the eggs of other insects, spending most of its life inside them. Its wings are fringed with hair-like bristles, letting it swim through the air instead of flying normally. It's so small, it experiences air as a thick fluid like we experience water. A true fairy of the micro-world. From exploding beetles to blood-drinking ants, from transparent butterflies to alien treehoppers, the insect world is more bizarre than fiction could ever imagine. Each of these species plays a role in Earth's complex web of life: predators, pollinators, recyclers, and survivors. So next time you see a bug crawling by, remember, you might just be looking at one of nature's most extraordinary inventions. Thanks for watching Amazing World Facts. If you enjoyed exploring the strangest insects on Earth, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more mind-blowing discoveries, and tell us in the comments, which of these bizarre bugs amazed you the most? Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the amazing world around you.